question that I kept asking myself the whole time that I've been playing Turtle WoW. Why isn't Blizzard doing this? If Blizzard took even a few lessons from all of these private servers that are out there, as unsavory as Blizzard might look upon them, then maybe something truly lasting and something truly great and magical could be created. In a real way, Turtle WoW and other private servers are a reason, a demand, to keep my hope alive. Hope for the Classic Plus, hope for the World of Warcraft that we all want.
We have big aspirations as a team, but we have had to learn some hard lessons about what is and what isn't appropriate, even in a very aggressively progressive version of vanilla. I've said in interviews in the past that if we try and take on something like a so-called Classic Plus, we want to be confident in going into it that we can deliver something that most people who want that sort of thing will like. I don't think SOD is what I'd call an ideal Classic Plus. Huh? Even if it's hands down my favorite version of WoW I've ever played in 21 years of playing WoW, 15 years working on, 7 years working on Classic, there are some things we did in SOD that we will never do again. And there are many more things in SOD that we want to keep developing and carrying forward. To put a pin in that, our team is also growing as well, specifically in the department of design, i.e. people who can build truly new content. That alone is exciting. Holy hype, dude.
Be an MMO, and multiplayer online, massive multiplayer online game is supposed to be engaging. You're supposed to meet new friends, grow guilds, have communities, do events, like talk about your professions one another. Do you need help? What are you lacking in this? Can I assist you with that? And I think if Classic Plus, focuses on, that key thing, there's a very special spot Classic Plus can have in a lot of people's hearts, especially OG vanilla players that, haven't played the game in such a long time or haven't even played SOD. And it's a big opportunity that they have in front of us here.
How can Blizzard preserve the timeless magic of World of Warcraft Classic while evolving it for a new era? With players holding diverse visions for Classic Plus, ranging from minimal changes to bold innovations, striking the right balance is key. At the heart of this vision are three pillars: class identity, social and group dynamics, and world interaction. Class identity, with its engaging rotations and iconic abilities, made every class in Vanilla WoW a unique journey. Combined with group roles that built strong communities and a vibrant world that felt truly alive, these elements defined Classic Soul. In this video, we'll explore how Classic Plus can enhance class identity through flavorful rotations, strengthen group dynamics with distinct class roles, and enrich world interaction to make Azeroth feel like home. Class identity in World of Warcraft, a key pillar for Classic Plus. What drew you to World of Warcraft initially? I remember the thrill of planning my race, class, and even the pet I'd tame as a hunter. My mind buzzed with excitement before I even held the game. WoW delivered on childhood fantasies, immersing players in a living, breathing world where you could embody the class of your dreams. Class identity was a cornerstone of Blizzard's vision, and it's why so many fell in love with the game. For Classic Plus to succeed, it must embrace and enhance this pillar through creative reworks and revamps. Here's a cleaned-up take on why class identity matters and how it can evolve. Class identity in Vanilla WoW was defined by iconic, flavorful abilities that weren't just about power but also fun and immersive. Spells like Eyes of the Beast for hunters or Mind Control for priests were memorable because they leaned into class fantasy, even if they weren't always optimal in combat. These abilities gave each class a unique personality, making you feel like a true hunter, priest, or paladin. To ensure Classic Plus has longevity, the dev team should prioritize new spells, talent reworks, and revamps of underused abilities to deepen this sense of identity while keeping gameplay engaging. For example, abilities like Flame Tongue Totem or Wind Wall Totem for shamans, Disengage for hunters, or Feint for rogues have potential for reworks that make them more relevant without losing their flavor. Instead of sidelining these, the team could evolve them to fit modern rotations while preserving their unique charm. New talents or mechanics could also be introduced to enhance class fantasy, making each spec feel distinct and immersive. By balancing engaging rotations with fun, flavorful abilities, Classic Plus can recapture the magic of Vanilla's class design while offering fresh experiences for players. In short, Classic Plus must double down on class identity. By reimagining underused abilities and introducing new ones that feel iconic, the devs can ensure players remain connected to the vibrant, fantastical world that made WoW great. Enhancing class identity through engaging rotations in Classic Plus. To solidify class fantasy in World of Warcraft Classic Plus, a core pillar alongside iconic abilities is the class rotation. A well-crafted rotation makes you feel like a mage hurling fireballs or a rogue striking from the shadows, bringing the class identity to life. For Classic Plus to succeed, rotations must be engaging, rewarding, and true to the class's fantasy without being overly simplistic or needlessly complex. Vanilla WoW's rotations were simple, grounded, and intuitive, avoiding the convoluted one-button macros of modern retail. While Vanilla's simplicity is nostalgic, Classic Plus should strike a balance, neither as bare-bones as Vanilla nor as intricate as retail, where rotations can feel overwhelming. Season of Discovery set a strong example by expanding rotations for all classes and specs, including underutilized ones, making them engaging without demanding excessive focus. This approach fits the essence of Classic WoW, where overly complex rotations feel out of place. Looking at the Classic Trilogy, Vanilla, The Burning Crusade, and Wrath, rotations evolved to better reflect class identities. TBC and Wrath talent trees fleshed out specs, giving underperforming ones distinct niches and deeper flavor. For Classic Plus, Blizzard could adopt a similar approach by drawing inspiration from TBC and Wrath talent trees, adjusting them to fit the Classic framework. This would enhance class fantasy without reinventing the wheel. For example, underused specs could receive targeted reworks to make them viable and unique, ensuring each feels impactful and true to its role. However, Blizzard must avoid homogenization. Retail's tendency to give every class similar tools, like interrupts, dilutes class identity. The Classic Trilogy excelled at preserving distinct roles, and Classic Plus should follow suit. By refining talent trees and rotations to emphasize each class's strengths, Blizzard can maintain the unique charm of Classic while delivering engaging gameplay that feels both fresh and faithful to the original vision. Class identity is a core element of an RPG, but for Classic Plus to succeed, we must also focus on another key pillar: group and social dynamics. MMOs, by definition, are about massive multiplayer online experiences, yet they don't need to emphasize group content exclusively. Solo play has its place, but it's not the foundation that upholds the vanilla name. Classic WoW thrives on its group and social dynamics, fostering a living, breathing world. Let's explore a key aspect of this pillar: manual group formation and communication. Unlike modern games like Call of Duty or Retail WoW, where automated queues match players for activities with minimal interaction, often limited to HIME and GG, Classic WoW requires players to actively use in-game channels to form groups. This manual process is a cornerstone of what makes Classic special. However, modernizing this system slightly could enhance the experience without losing its charm. For example, implementing a Looking for Dungeon tool, where players can post activities and others can sign up, strikes a balance between accessibility and engagement. This tool modernizes group formation while preserving the need for player initiative. Beyond dungeons, social dynamics extend to other interactions, like advertising trade services or announcing world buff drops in general or trade chat. Allowing players to showcase their profession skillbooks in chat could further enrich these interactions. These open communication channels make the world feel alive, encourage player engagement, and help build reputations within the community. To further strengthen the sense of community, Classic WoW emphasizes server-specific communication and individual reputation among peers. With each realm being self-contained, free from sharding or cross-realm grouping, the game fosters a tight-knit player base that collaboratively builds a social ecosystem. This design highlights personal reputation and its impact on the community. For example, an enchanter known for having nearly every recipe becomes a go-to guy, while a notorious PvP player from the opposing faction gains a reputation for dominating battles or ganking in open-world zones. These dynamics spark spontaneous social interactions, closely mirroring real-world community relationships and creating a vibrant, interconnected world. Classic WoW's open-world design promotes spontaneous social events through shared challenges, resource scarcity, and faction conflicts. Unlike modern MMOs with heavily scripted encounters, Classic's world bosses, elite quests, and contested zones foster organic moments where players collaborate or compete without automated systems. Unscripted interactions, like world PvP skirmishes or impromptu raid groups for bosses like Kazakh, build camaraderie, rivalries, and server-wide stories that strengthen community bonds. The absence of instancing for world events ensures a persistent shared space, making every encounter a potential social catalyst. While instancing world bosses could allow more players to experience the content, it risks undermining this dynamic by reducing the organic, server-driven interactions that define Classic's social ecosystem. I touched on it a little bit before for this pillar, but vanilla has a great sense of player-driven economy. Classic WoW's world design promotes community-driven interactions, with its player-driven economy fostering social dynamics through the auction house, direct trades, and crafting dependencies. Limited to 2 professions per player, individuals must rely on others for items or recipes they lack, mirroring real-world economics. This interdependence encourages negotiation, bartering, and partnerships, as players turn to alchemists for potions, enchanters for gear upgrades, or guildmates for raid resources. Individual entrepreneurs build reputations as trusted crafters or traders, while server-specific markets thrive on trust and mutual benefit, turning transactions into relationship-building opportunities. Revising the profession system could further enhance this interconnected economy, strengthening player collaboration and social bonds. Alright, let's dive into the third and final pillar for Blizzard to expand and preserve in classic World of Warcraft, the world and how players interact with it. This pillar is the heartbeat of Azeroth, grounding players in a vast, perilous landscape where every step, every choice, matters. To keep Classic's immersive magic alive, Blizzard needs to double down on travel, exploration, resource competition, and dynamic PvP, creating a living world that fosters agency and community. Here's how they can do it. First up, travel. Classic's lack of instant teleports is a strength. Traveling by foot, mount, boat, flight path, or zeppelin makes Azeroth feel massive and real.
Okay.
Venturing into high-level zones like Stranglethorn Vale can spell quick death for the unprepared, reinforcing the world scale and danger. But let's be honest, vanilla's flight paths can feel like a zigzagging slog.
What the hell are we doing
Blizzard
here?
could streamline them without breaking immersion. Think faster routes or new connections, like a zeppelin from Orgrimmar to Thunder Bluff or a boat from Booty Bay to Steamweedle Port. Now, exploration. Classic thrives on rewarding curiosity, hidden caves, rare spawns, or epic events like the Encourage Gate opening make every zone feel alive. Blizzard can build on this by taking a page from Ascension WoW, scatter collectibles like toys, gear, or pets across the world to lure players off the beaten path. Picture finding a rare pet in a forgotten cave or stumbling on a chest with upgraded loot or plans to upgrade your item with a recipe. To make it even better, introduce curated treasure maps or torn scrolls with quest-like narratives, simple riddles pointing to nearby rewards, like a lost dagger with initials carved into it, found by chatting with townsfolk. These shouldn't require Wowhead to solve, they should feel tangible, rewarding players with a brain and a sense of adventure. Tougher rare mobs that demand group effort for epic loot could also deepen collaborative exploration, turning zones into hubs of discovery. Let's talk resources and PvP. Mining, herb, and fishing nodes already spark competition, think Black Lotus hunts turning into bloodbaths. Blizzard can amplify this with capturable resource clusters, where players defend a spot for a set time to claim high-value rewards. This would naturally ignite world PvP, creating organic battles over valuable spots. War Mode could take this further, adding same faction PvP like Season of Discovery's Blood Moon in Stranglethorn Vale. Imagine boosted resource yields in War Mode or PvP-led events, like defending a mining cluster. These systems transform geography into natural battlegrounds, blending cooperation and conflict. Finally, zone progression ties it all together. Classic's cohesive level ranges and narrative arcs, like the Defiers saga in Westfall or the Scourge invasion in Eastern Plaguelands, weave stories into the landscape. Rare mobs and world bosses like Kazakh already blend PvE and PvP, creating server-wide events that unite or divide players. By enhancing these elements, more dynamic events, better chest rewards, and intuitive treasure hunts, Blizzard can keep zones vibrant and immersive. In short, Classic WoW's world is its soul. By refining travel, rewarding exploration with collectibles and group challenges, igniting resource competition, and layering War Mode for organic PvP, Blizzard can preserve Azeroth as a living, breathing world. It's about making every journey, every detour, and every fight feel like part of something bigger, a vibrant Azeroth where players write their own stories. Class identity, social dynamics, and world interactions are not mere suggestions but the essential cornerstones for the success of WoW Classic Plus. These principles resonate deeply with the community and must guide Blizzard's vision as they create new content and experiences. For players concerned about the direction of Classic Plus, these pillars provide a roadmap to preserve the soul of vanilla WoW while embracing modern enhancements. While time constraints mean not every community suggestion or idea from this video can be implemented immediately, Blizzard has a unique opportunity to build a robust foundation that ignites player excitement and investment. My prediction for Classic Plus? Blizzard might kick things off by integrating TBC talents into Classic on the Roth client, carefully reworking classes and specs to maintain that authentic vanilla feel while ensuring rotations are fun and engaging. Professions, long in need of modernization, could see significant updates to enhance their relevance and utility. Quality of life improvements are non-negotiable, addressing community pain points like dungeon spamming, gold buying, and other systemic issues that disrupt immersion. To generate immediate hype, Blizzard will likely focus on tangible content players can experience right out of the gate, fleshing out existing zones with new quests and storylines, potentially adding a new dungeon or two, and possibly adapting Season of Discovery's leveling raids to fit the vanilla experience. While endgame itemization and issues may come later, re-itemizing gear from levels 1 to 60 will be a priority, building on Season of Discovery's groundwork to ensure loot feels rewarding and balanced. In a bold move, Blizzard might incorporate the UI revamp currently in development for WoW Retail, streamlining the interface and reducing reliance on add-ons. A potentially controversial but forward-thinking change. Looking ahead, Blizzard could adopt an OSRS-inspired approach, polling the community to shape future updates, fostering trust and ensuring players feel heard. By establishing a strong foundation, engaging class rotations, overhauled professions, targeted quality of life fixes, and exciting new content like enhanced leveling zones and dungeons, Blizzard can reignite the community's passion. This isn't just about launching a game, it's about crafting a living, evolving world that honors vanilla's roots while embracing a vibrant future. Here's hoping Blizzard is already hard at work, ready to deliver a Classic Plus that gets us all hyped as hell. Keep the discussion alive. Let your voice be heard. And again, thanks for watching.